Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everybody's having a wonderful day. So, make a quick video for you guys today. This is going to be on the spreadsheet that I have for the Pick 3 Secret, the rundown and the story system. This is really a special system that I have here that I've been using in helping people navigate to different type of numbers to play. And really, I like to do research based on histories, and with this tool, it's very helpful. And if you haven't gotten your copy of this is available for sale on the Etsy page. So you can, if you look down below, you should be able to see that and just click on it and you should be able to get a spreadsheet on this. The only thing you have to do is you just got to update your local whatever state that you're in. You know, it gives you like, so there's 5 different sheets in this spreadsheet. This is the story sheet here. What that means is you can put in a number here. So let's say I put in 6641 and that number pops down. It gives you the single digits here, and then it gives you the pairs here. So 6461 and 41, and then it's a mirror numbers here. Gives you the cycle of the root number of root sum of it. So it's on this side here. So the sum is 11. The root sum of this is 2, and then the mirror number is the number there again. And it just gives you like some information here. And with this button here, it tells you what the best rundown to use, and then it shares with you all the mirror pairs and everything else at the bottom. And here's a little story at the bottom here for you just to read. And then the rundown system itself is here. And the cool thing about this is just really one powerful sheet, because on this here, if you have a drop down button here, it gives you a whole list of what you want to use it for. So if you're just using, let's say 369 is what we're going to be using, 369. So if I put in 641, so this top portion of it is where you enter your numbers. So if I would put 614, 169, and then I just hit this button, it automatically changes it to everything else. And then this one here is for the date sum. So some people like to use it for the date sum. I just like to use it for the date. So if the number was today's the, let's say today was the 14th, I'm looking for the 15th, I will highlight the 5. You know, automatic colors all the blue portion of it. And this number here, these blue, the green portion of it here from my side is really narrowing down where I like to play my numbers. I always try to play it off of these 2 boxes here, right? So around this green box. And then for the temp sheet, this is for hot numbers, cold numbers, overdue numbers, and it tracks it, does your count. And this one also has a setup for different last draws. So if it's in 90 days that you want to do a research on, it gives you how many times the numbers have come up in 90 days. But the main portion of it is really narrowing down your tracking. So like what I have in my system, these numbers I show here is in the state of Arizona. So the state of Arizona numbers all the way up to September the 16th. So what that temp sheet here, it does, it pulls up like how long ago or how many times the number has come up in the last 90 days. And this is like the first digit, the second digit, the third digit. So if it was 317, 3 would come in here in the first digit, 1 would be the second digit, and the third digit would be the 7. And then it breaks it down here for you as well, which one is hot, cold, everything else for you. Right, so that's the last time when the number came up. Right, so and then here, these are the trackers. Right, so these are the tracking sheets. So if you have your temp sheet filled out, your data sheet information filled out here, it automatically, when you put it in, let's go to the tracking, or go to the data sheet, it tracks it for you. So when this number it comes in this row, so if 036 has come up, it's going to track it for you. So if all I do is, if this number is, all these numbers are updated, and then when you go into the tracking, just hit drawn, all the numbers that have been drawn this year is showing up. 228 numbers have been played this year, right? So 036 is right there, right? So that's how you can track your yearly numbers. And then from this side, on this right side of it here is more of a front pair, back pair, double outside numbers. So if there was a front pair that has played already, it'll just update the numbers here. Then it automatically highlights it for you, which numbers has played and which one has not played. You know, so that's what it's for. And then the data sheet itself, and then it provides all the rundowns. And I separated everything else on the rundowns, which one's the best numbers to play, all the way from 000 to 999. and it gives you the best rundowns. And that's where the story mode comes in to choose what the best numbers to play. All right, so I did a lot of research on it to see what the best routes to play on those. So let's go into so today we're looking at the state of Michigan. I had a request from somebody saying, "Hey, can you do the state of Michigan for me?" So that's what we're gonna do today is just look at some numbers here. So I'm on the lotterypost.com. I don't I'm subscribed to them because I like their calendars, so all their calendars with their history numbers and everything else. Because if you're subscribed to them, they provide you all the years, how long ago backtrack. So if I go back to 1999, it'll give us all the numbers back in 1999, right? So if you do a lot of research and how the numbers played back then. So let's say if you wanted to play January the 4th and you want to try and see what number came up last year in January the 4th, you can see it here and you can backtrack it like the 2020, this is 2023, 2024, so it provides all that information there for you. So it's just a cool tool. I like to use their stuff. Well, the main one is I just like to use their calendars for easier tracker and everything else. All right, so but I'm not subscribed to them. I'm not pitching to go there for you to subscribe. But if you want, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I think they have like if you're not subscribed, I think they give you like a year and a year worth of history numbers. But if you want to go beyond that, I think you have to pay a fee. All right, so but that's how their services work on that side. All right, so let's get down to it. So we are looking at the state of Michigan right now. I notice Michigan draws twice a day. It looks like it's a midday and evening draws. So that's what I'm seeing here. And I think that's called daily three, not a pick three. All right, so every state has their different name. Like Georgia, the last video I made was it's called Cash Three. Arizona here, we only get one draws, which is the evening draws. All right, but then for Michigan here, so let's go ahead and look at some numbers. I'm going to just choose some random numbers. Maybe we can do some doubles, and maybe we can do some singles, and let's see how those play out. So let's try April the 1st, April Fool's Day. All right, so the mid so we'll go the way I play it is I don't play midday to evening and then evening back to midday. I don't do it that way. I stick with midday is midday all the way across. And then if you do evenings, I stick with evenings all the way across. That's the best route to track. I mean, that's really just for me. I mean, I don't know how if you play it that way, but for me, that's how I like to play. All right, so but it's up to you. I can't tell you how to play it. I'm just giving you some education on how this system that I have works. Okay, so let's go to April 1st. April 1st midday was 585. So it's a double outside double, so 585, and we hit enter on this. It switches automatically, give us all the pairs that's available, the cycle of the which is the root sum, the mirroring numbers, and then we'll go ahead and hit this update. And the best rundown for 585 shows us 369 rundown. All right, so 369 is already in place, so we'll put 585030 is the mirroring number, and we'll go ahead and hit update. And there it is. And the next day's number that came up on the midday was 350. So what I like to do is I put the twos here. So anything at that, so I'll go for, because it's on the second, so I'll put the two here, right? And from there, I'll take the two into this box here, right? So what it is, it's going to be five, no, it's going to be eight, I'm sorry, 844399399. Hit update, so now the twos are here, right? So a lot of times the numbers will play around this area somewhere against this number. It's going to be attached to one of these twos, right? So that's the date sum of the date. Most people say let's play the date sum. So if it was April the 2nd, so then you have to play 4 plus 6, which is going to be 4 plus 2, which is going to be 6, right? So if you play around the date sum of it, maybe you might get lucky. Some people play it that way. If it works for you, great. But for me, I always play the next day, which is April the 2nd. So that's why I chose the 2. Right? So the next day's number is 350, and this off the back here, 350 is playing right here across 053, right? 053. See, it's still attached to the 2 here. It's attached to the 2 on this side. Same thing over here, attached to the 2 and attached to the 2. 503. Okay, so that's how this number played out. So I always try to play it that way, and I like to play mirror numbers. I don't know, I'm not really good with flip numbers. I mean, we can try and see if anything will come back. So let's try that again. 585. And if the flip numbers will be the 585, so we got to look on the left side. So the flip will be 818. All right. So that's how the flip number would have played out. So let's go ahead and hit run. And let's do the same thing again, back to adjust. 844 177 177. That's the mirror number of the 844 because 8 here is 1, 4 is 7, right? So that's the flip numbers. So if we play it on the 2, let's see if it comes back up as a 350 somewhere. So it's not, I mean, it worked here. Look, 305 is attached to the 2. 305 attached to the 2. Right, so this is the box I mainly play it off of. But here on this side it's just 30, but there's no 5 around here. Down here, 305 is this way. It's still attached to the 2. 30, there's no 5 here. 503 right here between the 2's. So this one worked pretty well too. So, but it's not really playing in this box. Well, it did play in this box here. Right, so that's where I like to play my numbers. But flip is okay, I guess. That one worked pretty well. So let's check the next day. So let's play 350. So what we'll do is we'll go back here, 350. We'll go ahead and update that. And the best rundown for 350 says it's 973. So let's go to 973 on this chart here. And we'll go ahead and put in 350, 805. Update. And now we're playing for the next day, which would be the 3rd, right? So we'll go ahead and put the 3rd here, number 3. And we'll go ahead and put the 3 in this box. So I'm going to take this number and put it in here. So it's going to be 487 932 932. Update. Now the 3 is here. So the next day's number that came up after this shows here was 964. So I mean, there's a 9 and a 6 here, 9 and a 6 this way. There's the 4's way over here. So, but there's no 9 at all. 9's down here. So 964 went this way. 964. All right, so let's look at this 3 here. There's a 4. There's a 964 this way as well on top of the 3 up here. So then attaches back to the 3 over here. And let's look at the 3 here. 946 right here too. It went down this way. So it's always going to be attached to the 3 somehow here. And if you want to look around in other areas, sometimes it always plays off of that. All right, so, and this was in April the 3rd. April 3rd is when it played out. All right, so, excuse me. All right, so that's how this one plays. So let's see, let's test this out. So let's see, now we're playing 964. Let's take a look and see if 763 would have played. Well, we're looking at 350, run number 350. Let's say if we didn't play the 964, but let's say we use the 350 to play the number for the same day, which then I would change this to the 2nd because you're playing the same day. If 355 came up. So now I got to take this 2 into this box here. So that will be 196 641 641. Update. Now there's a 2. Let's see if 577 is anywhere near there. 577 came through right here. It's still attached to this 2. So somehow it did play well on this one. So 577 here. This is a 0. Right here's a 7, but there's no, well, there's a 5 here. This one's a 2. 775 here. So this is the chart off at 973 because it's asking to play the 350. So let's try the 964. So 964 is here. And we'll go make it. Now this is the best rundown again. Is a 369. So 369 looks like it's popular in Michigan for some reason. So 964, 419, 419, and we're playing for the fourth. So we'll go ahead and highlight all the fours. So we're going to take this four and put it in where the two is at. So we'll put 346, 891, 891. Update. Now the four is up here. And the 964 number is right here, which is the main number that came up. So now, based off of that, let's take a look and see if the midday number is matching around somewhere in that area where the four is at. So the next day's number shows it's 588. So there's a 58 right here, but there's no 8, but this is a 3 that can be flipped or mirrored into an 8 if you wanted to. There's a 558 right here. 58588. So that's where it played out, is against the 4 off the center. So if you would have played the main number here, you would have probably hit the 3, but you didn't know it was a double, but it was right above that number. It's a 588. 588 is across this way too. Off this 4, which is this 4. Look at this. So the number here, but since we're using the mirror side and this is a 369, when you flip it or when you mirror the numbers that changes is these outside numbers, but the middle number stays the same. But on this chart here, the 588 actually appeared as full number here. And over here is 583. You see it? So it's because of the mirror numbers itself. But this one played out this way across. All right, so that's how the 588 number appeared here. All right, and then let's go ahead and do 588 and see what will play out. 588 update now, switching to 223 because it's a double. A lot of the double numbers they play with 223 rundown. So let's do 588 033 033, and now we're playing for the fifth. The data is the fifth. So now we're going to take this 5 and put it in this box again. So it's going to be 929474. And we're going to flip that around. And there's the 5. So the next day's number that came up here on the 5th is 913. So let's go ahead and see if we can find 913 around any of these 5s. So 913 came straight down this way against the 5 here. And there's nothing around this here. It's probably on the mirror side of the 5. 913. So 913 is going straight down. Same thing over here. They're all 913s going straight down. There's a 913 here. That's a 913 all just plays straight down like a straight rain. All right, so this one is 139. Right here too, 319 against the 5 again. So it's been it's been showing here all over 913, 913, 913, 913 all over, but it's all played down. So this is off the 223 chart. So now we go to 913. This is 649 chart. So let's go switch to 649, 913, 468, 468. Go and run that, and that's going to be for the 6. We'll go ahead and put the 6 here, so we'll put 918 here. 463, 3. We flip that around now. The 6 is right here, and the date of the 6 came up as 487. Right, so 487. So let's see if 487 is anywhere near here around the 6. There's a 48. There's a 84, 846, 84. So the 7 is over here. It's attached to this 6 here. So 847 this way. And then 487 again down here. 847. So most of the numbers are appearing down here in the corner box. 8, 4, the 7's right here, but still attached to the 6 on this side. 8, 4, so it's right here this way. Right here, 2 straight across, 8, 4, 7, still attached to the 6 over here. All right, so that's how that number played out. So this is based off of the 649 chart. So let's do one more. Let's go to 8487. Best rundown is 251 rundown. So we'll go ahead and switch this to 251. Now we're going to put 487, 932. Hit that update. Now we're playing for the date is the 7th. So we'll go ahead and update that. So this is the main number of the number that came up, 487. This is the main number to be played. So we'll go ahead and put 085 here, 530. 530. So now the 7's here. Now we're looking for the what number we've come up on that. So the next day's number again is 495. So let's look at that. Is there any 4095 around here? So there's a 9 here, but there's a 5 up here. Let's see. No 495 around here, nothing here. Yeah, this one wasn't a good number that came up under this chart at all. I don't see any 495. There's a 95, but there's no 4. Here, nothing. There's a 4 here. There's no 9-5 anywhere. So this one didn't come up as what we were hoping for. So it's based off of the 487. 4. Yeah, I don't see anything here. Even the 7 or the 2, because it never came up under that. If we switch this to, sometimes if a number is like that, we can switch it over and put 487932. I'm switching this to a 39317 rundown. So let's try that. So let's put the 863 here, 318. Now we got the 7s here. Again, we'll look at that again. So the number for it looking for is 495. 495 this way, next to the 7. 495 against the 2. So if the 317 was a good chart to play off of the 495. So, but I mean, any numbers, it's really interesting too. Like the other day, I was researching some numbers, so this is pretty interesting. So let's try this. I was playing doubles, right? So I put 000, and then I put 555 on this side. Let's see if these numbers will work the same. So these are all, let's put it all as ones. So it's all triple numbers all the way across. But what's interesting on this is, so let's say we're looking for the second, which is 350, right? So what I'll do is I'll highlight the 2's, and then I'll put the 2's in this row, and let's see if 350 is around the 2 somewhere. So there's nothing here. So 5 zeros are up here, but the 3 is down here. So this is not a good one. Let's see. Let's try for the third. So let's highlight the 3's. The third was 964. 9-4, and still attached to the 3's. 9-4, but the 6's are up here, which is still attached to the 2 up here. Right, so sometimes it plays really well. I mean, let's try the 4's. 4's are here. Is On the fourth was 588. So the 8 is here, it's attached, but the 5 is down here. Right? So 588. So somehow it runs with the date itself. So let's try the fifth. The fifth was 913. See, there's one, there's a nine, there's a one, but the one is not attached to a three, but the nine and the three is attached here. But somehow it still plays against the fives. You see? So the fifth. And if we do the sixth, we choose it here. The six shows here as 487. 7, 8, and then the 4 is way up here. So it didn't really attach to it. But the 4 is attached down here with the 8. You see? 487 still attached to the to the 6. Then if I put the sevens, the date of the 7, so all sevens are highlighted now, and the date of the 7 was 495. So if you look up here, 4, 9, but these ones are way off. So this one didn't work either. So I was just messing with numbers like this. So if you have a chart with this, like you have one of this chart that I have, I mean, you can go back and forth between all these different rundowns, whatever your favorite is. You know, if you can try the 777s, it's still the same thing, still the same rundown, right? But it's switched it around, right? So then it's not 1, 2, 3, 4 anymore. So if you go back and run the chart that way, and let's go back to the first, let's go to the first, which was 585. So if you will play the 777, 585 against the ones, 585, still against the one, right? Then if you go to the second, which is the twos, so we can put, best way to probably do it too is put twos up here, or if the twos are here, just put the eights here. 333, 333. So now the twos are here. So now you highlight all the twos. Now the number that came up on that is 350, right? So now against the twos, there's a 350. See, it's attached to the twos all the time somehow, 350, right? So then if I want to play the third, I can put the threes in here. So now it's going to be 999, 444, 444. Now we're going to highlight all the threes. So I switch this to the threes. These are triple numbers. So now on the third is 964. So on the third, you look around the threes if there's a 9 or a 6 or a 4. See, 694 is attached to the 3 again. 694, 694. It somehow attaches to it. And then if I do it for the fourth, so let's look at the fourth. So we put all the zeros here. 555, 555. You run that, and then we highlight all the fours. And the four, see if there's anything attached to this. On the fourth again is 588, right? So if we could look at the four, is there an 8 attached to the 4? Is it 588? So 88 is here, but 5 is down here. So this one is kind of further away from the 4 itself. But if you look at the fourth, the same one again for the ninth, that is 675. 675 is the evening number. 5, but this one's way off. 6 is down here. And then 7. 7 is against the 4 here. So it's against the 4 here. But the 5 is way off. 675. So it's somehow, I mean, I was looking at this the other day and I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I started messing with them. I mean, you can probably try it with the 999s too, because they have the triples. Now everything else is back to ones. So 999 and 111 are kind of like similar, but they go upwards. But if you put 111 rundown, if you switch to 999 and 999 numbers goes upwards, the 111 goes downwards. See, 1239. But if I switch this to nines, it flips around. Now nines go back downward, upwards. See it? Because the one was here before, now the 9 was down here. Now they flip flop. So if you play it that way, and let's look for the date of the 5th. So we put the 5th. So all the 5s are highlighted, and the 5th was 913. 9-1, but the 3's up here, so they're not attached. But it's attached here. 3-9, and then the 1 is also still attached to the 5 here. All right. So then if you go to the 6, on the 6 is here. It was 487, 874, 874, 874. All right. And then on the 7th was 495. So the 7th is here, 945, but it's not attached to the 8. But this is like it's like one row above it. 495. So all of them are away from the 7 itself, but it's way up here. Then if you do the 8th is 601. So if we switch this to number 8, now if there's any 601 nearby, nothing. 601 is here, but it's way farther from the 8. So it's just so weird, you know. I mean, sometimes it works really well, but this is the 9991 rundown. If I would have switched it to the 7, then it jumps. You know, 1, 2, 3, then it narrows down, right? So, but that's how these ones play out. But if you play the 7, then let's say if you look at the 8, the 8th was 601. You'll probably find 601 here. See, 160 attached to the 8. And then if you go to the 9th again, if I switch this to the 9th, the 9th is down here. The 9th number that came up on this 948. And then if you go there, 94, but there's no 8. 8 is way down here. But it's not attached to the 9 or the 4, but the 9-4 is connected to this. So sometimes it plays the same date, might just mirror the dates itself. But this is just some of the stuff I like to learn. And this one for Michigan, I'm just researching some numbers for us. But hopefully that helps you guys out. If you guys need any other assistance, just reach out. And it's just a few ways I play some stuff here. All right. But if you do have this sheet and update this real data numbers here that you can update your numbers into the system itself, then you can use all the trackers and the doubles, and then you can track the hot and the cold and everything else here. All right. So that's how this one will work. All right. So have a good night. Thank you for listening to me today on this Michigan research that we just did for a few of the numbers, and we did some triple stuff here. So other than that, if you guys need more information on something else, just reach back out. You can just put it in the comments if you guys want to. Have a good day. Just share and like the video if you can, and have yourself a wonderful afternoon. If you want the spreadsheet again, like I say, it's available on Etsy. I'll just put it in the comments below, in the description below. Have a good day. Bye bye.